making some items that I should have already made.
I was like, you're not gonna. I was like, you knew we were gonna take the guitar, right?
I mean, yes.
We have
It's
a
just
this one
that
right here.
I forget that having like the images for the items is not enough anymore. Like I need to actually like put them on Foundry, and that
Yeah,
always
motherfucker.
like catches me off guard, and I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't do it again. Which
Oops,
is why.
I did not do it again.
Exactly. That's
Look at
actually that's pretty accurate for my whole life, really.
Me every single morning.
I cannot do anything until the blade of a deadline is resting gently upon my jugular, so I get it.
I just depends on. Well, for work, maybe. For like stuff that people give me, I tend to hyperfixate on it, and then I'll get it done.
Mm-mm.
Post haste.
I need that deadline. I need the pressure.
Post haste.
The worst part is that this is not typed out. It's a fucking like image, so I need to like type things.
Just have
I think I have
ChatGPT do it
the-
for you.
True.
I have like a lot of loot, and this is the one that I didn't write myself.
Is
If
it
only I had written it
loot
myself.
loot?
It's not loot.
Loot and harp.
Harp. Mochi, please stop.
Guys, I don't remember. Did we ever buy those handcuffs?
Pardon?
I don't think you did.
Okay.
It's not
But
too
I'm also
late.
not entirely
It's
sure.
only 5 p.m. You can go get them real quick.
What do you mean you? You can go get them, Mr. Detective.
I thought
I'm
you were going
surprised
to
you
say
didn't get them in the-
Mr. Flying Boy, which is more relevant for this.
No, I don't want to even put race into it. He is a detective.
Who would put
He should
race?
have handcuffs.
It's a legitimate difference.
Oh no! Oh, yes, it is. But also, this is his whole MO. Batman has handcuffs. So why doesn't
Yeah,
our
he does.
Batman have handcuffs?
I mean,
Who
so does
had your
Catwoman, but for a
handcuffs
different
again?
reason.
Staring at you through the internet.
I'm not seeing any handcuffs in the stores.
There was definitely handcuffs. Or something. There was definitely something silver and handcuff inexpensive that we thought about and we not end up getting.
Oh, the pure silver bracelet that repels magic?
Maybe. Was that it?
It was not literally handcuffs, because like, why would a jewelry store sell silver handcuffs?
Do you want to answer to your question or do you want to just move
No,
on?
I can see why they would sell handcuffs. So they're probably not that establishment, but another establishment in the city. But one's made of pure silver. They don't have to like hunt werewolves on the regular, unlike some other people.
You calling people?
Anyway, she's already wrapped in my silvered whip. It's fine.
I'm sure she is.
You're barely 25% silvered with. Is there shitting on the quality?
This is like 10 karat silver. Hello.
I'm poor. I don't know what that means.
It's not
10
good.
carat. Yeah, like 10 carat. I'm just like, what are you saying? I don't understand those words.
Okay, I'm finally done typing.
And that bugs
And
me.
this
No
this
carrots.
item is going to function in a very particular way, which is if you would like macros for it, you're welcome to make them yourself, because I'm not doing it right now.
Hmm.
And I also
can
don't
get
know
to
how
it
to do it
eventually.
anyway. But it depends on who is going to use it, if any.
True, Soul doesn't use the macros I already made.
Sometimes you guys just don't get the loot anyway, or give them to NPCs, so I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I don't know what macros you made, by the way.
Stuff for the Dragoon.
This is light.
Oh. Yeah, because sometimes I decide after.
It's technically studded.
Then I have to go
Anyway.
turn it off. I don't want to turn things off.
Okay, I think we're ready to begin.
Who's beginning what?
In the beginning.
In the beginning,
Everyone
There's
is here,
the
right?
light and the dark.
Ding 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 ding.
what did you just call me?
A binga-ding.
Binga binga dong.
The big boys are coming.
And everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco.
Badink-a-dink, badink-a-dink.
Class specifically that I've listened to is probably a concerning number. That's
It's gonna be
100% one of those songs that if I'm like trying to force myself to do something, I will just loop it until I'm done with the task.
I feel yeah, that song is a banger.
But like, it slaps every time.
It's so good.
I've been thinking about listening to the chemical table to like learn all the elements.
Nitrogen, helium, like just
Hydrogen and helium and another helium and another
Lord,
helium.
Lord. I think I have the first 20 still memorized, maybe.
I'm gonna give you a big guess on who remembers the whole thing.
It's gonna be one
Yeah,
of those sessions, isn't it?
Yeah,
The answer is it's not me.
yeah, it's dancing 100%.
Mochi, get out, bro.
Oh,
the
gee,
side-
don't take that. Psst, 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 come here.
All right, sorry.
One, just
You
one.
may be
second.
Oh, never mind. You can
Yeah,
Which is
continue.
just like, you're the only person in the house I can bother. I've got to bother you.
He's trying to eat my cookie.
I just learned there was like a.
Cats can't even eat carbs.
He would
Can't-
die. He doesn't get it. Get out of here, my man.
Doesn't realize it's poison.
You're a jerk.
Explain
don't
why
get
my
it.
cat's a fiend for bread, though. And chips. Like,
Okay,
there has
chips
been,
I get.
there are 2 separate times that I have rescued her head from a chip bag.
My cats
Well,
eat
no, well.
rice.
Let's see if I can find a picture of her.
Your
with her
cat's
head in a
racist?
chip bag.
Wait, what? How'd you get that from rice?
I don't know. I didn't hear what Kevin said fully, so I just.
Yeah. They're racist.
We're all rice. I enjoy rice.
Okay, just a second. I'm changing my Steam password because I just heard there was like a leak.
Oh yeah, that was a leak.
In
fuck
my
am I gonna
boat.
My God.
Why'd you hit him with like the? Oh look, it's a mockingbird.
Bury that energy, bro.
Yeah, I was just like, that's what you felt like to me.
Mochi, you're tilting me. Actually, I'm gonna jump out the window. Stop it.
Actually, I thought about sending everyone a video of a woodpecker I sent. I was like, why would I do that? And I stopped.
Didn't really need to do this because I have 2-factor on, but whatever.
That's kind of how I feel nowadays. I'm just like, the end of reach. I have so I have authenticator on. Yep. All right. Well,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they're not gonna be able to just enter my account with the password, so I don't really need to bother resetting it. But you know, since it's Steam and all, I'm just gonna be a little more paranoid about it. It would be pretty bad if I lost access to my Steam account. I would probably tilt on several levels. Anyway, that's done. I hope I remember the password for next time. But
you didn't save it?
I saved it, obviously, but you know.
Oh, okay.
Fellas, last session was, I think, almost entirely combat. So you know the drill. You fought at the mausoleum against Priscilla and her cronies. One of them escaped, having been pokeballed for most of the fight, and then he watched the rest of his team get wiped out and decided, you know, I have a ticket out of here and I'm going to use it. And he did. Otherwise, we had stopped right as we finished the combat, as everyone was. Priscilla is unconscious and her body is slowly regenerating.
No. She's wrapped in the whip, which means she doesn't regenerate.
Very slowly, but still slowly.
Didn't sound vampire.
It's kind of in the sense that like your whip, she's not going to recover like a substantial amount of mechanical hit points, but still. The gravekeeper is still tied to a coffin at the far side of the mausoleum. And
Nope, he got Vortex warped out at the very beginning of the fight.
nobody cast Vortex Warp on him.
I thought Aluna did.
No.
Oh.
I said I was going to, and then when we got there, then we started combat, and then it didn't seem like she was going to do anything, so then I never cast a spell.
Never mind, I stand corrected on all counts.
Liar.
So yes, that is how the scene is currently. What spells are currently active on everyone?
Haste is fading any minute.
What does it say for me?
I have see invisibility on. I'm pretty sure still.
Oh, I'm concentrating
Possession.
on ethereal immolation, but doesn't matter.
right.
She's down.
Yeah, there's still like a
she's
lingering
fulfilled.
flame.
I'm
Right.
focused. Actually, no, I will
I-
stay focused. I apologize. Sorry,
Okay,
if that's all right. Yeah.
there's still like a bit of lingering, like a coat of feather, almost like it's oil on her.
No. Like it's ice. Get your fucking flavors right, bitch.
But why would it burn then? Like my
Ice
idea.
can be so cold that it burns.
Yeah, but the idea is that like when she casts a spell, it's going to ignite, right, and burn her.
Not this one.
Okay, sure. Anyway, what are you guys going to move? How are you guys going to move? What is your next step here?
Luna's going to quickly untie that gravekeeper and get them sort of like just sort of upright.
All right. As you move to untie the gravekeeper, you see a translucent figure emerging from the coffin that the gravekeeper is tied to.
I vortex warp the gravekeeper instead of moving now. I just fully cast the spell.
Okay, you're gonna cast Vortex Warp to teleport him where?
Behind us. Very
Okay,
minimum.
you do that. The translucent figure, which seems to be an adult man with sort of like shoulder length hair. You can't really tell the color since it's all like spectry and shit. And a mustache and a goatee. He seems slightly like he jumps a little at the vortex warp happening behind him, but doesn't really make any noise, and then turns and continues floating as he was towards in Priscilla's direction, essentially.
Luna tentatively pulls a knife. You, there, stop.
He doesn't really like look in your way. He's just floating over to where she is.
Does he look familiar? Is this a random dude?
Doesn't look familiar to you.
Who is he?
His clothes seem pretty fine though, like richly dressed.
Do I know him?
You can see him.
Yeah.
Only Luna can.
There's a ghost moving towards Priscilla's body. I don't know who
Oh,
it
sure.
is.
When you say that, he pauses and he looks at you and goes like, "Oh fuck, you can see me?"
You thought I was just saying stop to some random bastard in the room?
I fucking know. I'm not used to people being able to see me.
Well, I can see you, obviously.
Well, then you lower your tone when you're speaking to royalty.
I'm very sorry. And she does a almost sarcastic curtsy, but she's too prideful in her manners not to. Who exactly am I speaking to?
Yeah, and at this, he kind of he doesn't like materialize necessarily, but he does make himself a little more opaque, and then like everyone else can see him because he's kind of like, well, they can see me anyway, so like whatever. So you are speaking to one of the last descendant, and before he even like, you can tell he was about to do like a pretty long introduction, and Lucina's voice, like from, well, I assume at this point would be from behind you, kind of like cuts him off and just like flatly states, that is Phineas von Greathelm IV, the
Oh, do you
last
remember?
regent of the city.
Have you remembered every person's name in history in this town?
No. She kind of like starts walking towards him, and he immediately like recedes a little and goes, Stop that woman! Get that thing away from me!
Thing.
What do you mean by thing?
The thing on her back!
What's on
Did he say our
is it her axe or something else?
She
Sorry, was
stops
it her or our? I didn't hear.
her back.
Oh, okay.
She stops and like she sees there's some confusion on you and looks at all of you. He is referring to Helm Splitter, the great axe on my back. It has that name because it was used to behead him.
Oh,
Oh,
so you know each other.
Incorrect. I was not alive when he died.
he just knows the axe a little, personally.
More than I would like to, yes! I mean, me and my father and my mother and my siblings. You have a lot of gall bringing that thing to my ancestors' tomb, young lady.
What was the guy's name again?
Phineas von Greathelm IV.
Was that with a PH or an F?
With a PH.
Is he a fat boy though?
Yeah, has he got that
Oh.
fat boy? Got them fat plates?
He's a little fat. He's a little fat.
As
Even
royalty
in
tend to
death.
be.
Exactly. Yes. He's like,
Oh.
I'm
A little
rich
pudgy.
fat.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, you're speaking to the Lady Commander of Great Helm at the moment.
The first of her name.
Fair.
Well, yeah. She's like, what? The head honcho of the usurpers? Pfft. Big honor that is.
I really need a history lesson here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of left out on a lot of history here.
Lakina seemed like she was about to continue marching towards him and then stops when you say that. Great Helm
I mean-
is named as such because it was ruled by the Great Helm family. The Great Helm family were servants of the Great Worm of the Glacier.
Ooh, I think as I feel, I and you let me know. I feel like as she says that, does Blythe come out at all?
Yeah, exactly. When she says that, like there's this booming sound in the mausoleum, like they were fucking what?
No, they were not fucking anything.
Oh no. Don't worry, Blythe. She's got it. Really. I mean, he's been beheaded. You can't. I mean, can you double kill him?
Can you behead a spirit?
Triple kill.
I can try.
There's a will, there's a way, as I suppose what they say.
If you need any magical energy, I'm fully supporting you in anything that you want.
To
What is all these spirits' issue? Why are they all so bitter?
Well, it's a little hard not to hold a grudge when you're beheaded.
You're already dead, get over it.
They didn't actually behead me, you know. They just split my head in the middle. It's a little more humiliating.
Maybe
So
you
your
deserved
family
it.
served Grimvar.
Correct, as was the way in our time. What do you think we were supposed to do? Just defy the massive dragon that could freeze us all?
Well, that
yeah.
would be the honorable thing to do. He was defeated eventually, after all. But, regardless, why are you involved now?
Well, I was not entirely corporeal. Exactly. I'm really not entirely sure what happened, but when that woman, he points at Priscilla, brought here that monstrous ghost thing, it
You're welcome,
started
by the way.
rousing-
Earlier said, "You're welcome." By the way,
Welcome for what?
it's gone now. Looks around.
Finish.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I did feel that perhaps the pull was getting a bit weaker, but anyway, that thing started calling a bunch of us. I just sort of woke up and it was trying to pull me towards the crypts. I hid in my coffin so I could resist the urge to go to where it was. I was not born to serve, I'll have you know. And then,
Yes,
well,
Lilia like
eventually-
whisper to Rala, didn't he just say he served Grimvar?
oh, that was different.
Oh, you have really good hearing. Wow.
Yeah, I do.
And why were you headed towards Priscilla after deciding to vacate your coffin?
Because I was going to piss on her.
Oh, well, I mean, carry on then.
Ghosts can pee.
You know, it's not material, but we can sort of mimic it.
But there's a
I was
will,
go-
there's a way.
I was going to do it invisibly, obviously, so you all could not see it, but since you sort of like
Well,
busted
that
me.
still means you were like exposing yourself instead of people unconsensually.
I mean, I just want to feel some vindication for her disturbing my peaceful slumber, and I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to get back to it.
Oh, I'm having a few ideas.
But yeah, when he says that, Lucina continues marching towards him and grabs the axe, like, kind of like she has an idea, and he recoils further, like, stop her this instant.
As I said, she is the lady commander. She's kind of in charge.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of her jurisdiction.
But do you think that is going to put me at peace? I'm just gonna haunt this place farther.
He does make a point, Lucina.
Useful about what's been going on here lately?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you know anything useful about what's been going on? Where Priscilla came from, who her master is, who's taken over the town?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. But as I said, I was just here being sort of like a bodiless curse after she came here and had her little monsters together with her and her little vampire attendants and her child servant of sorts.
Child servant?
Child servant.
Yes, for the first couple of weeks, she seemed to always have this little child carrying on chores or bringing her drinks or things like that. Must have been around the must have been around the age of. No. It was being about the age of that little twerp over there. Points at Rala.
Looks behind.
I'm talking about you.
Careful who you raise your voice at. That's my little twerp.
Why do I have to care? I am nobility. You all should be kneeling on one knee to.
Luna throws one of her enchanted daggers to graze his face to see if it works.
Yeah, it slightly grazes like his ectoplasm. It's like, What the fuck?
Oh, so you can feel that. So you should mind your tongue.
We could split your skull again.
Anyway, do you know who... Did anyone come here before Priscilla did?
Well, even if they did, I wouldn't have known it. I was not awake at that time. I only woke up after that monster thing that she brought here woke me up.
Did anyone who seemed more powerful than Priscilla ever visit here?
Not really, no. It did seem a couple of times like she was talking to someone just into thin air, but nobody ever visited in person. It was mostly just her throwing those unsavory parties with the weird music while she enjoyed watching the rest of the people be scared out of their minds from those monsters she brought with her, and getting the little child to serve her drinks.
What kinds of things did she say when she spoke into thin air?
Oh, it was it all seemed rather cheesy, if you will. Oh, asking when he was going to visit, and if he could send her some gifts, other things like that. At some point, she reported things that were going on here, like, oh, everything is fine. She spoke about you, too, at one point. Apparently that eye thing caught you snooping around. She told whomever that was about it, but never really anything substantial. More like, oh, I am such a lonely girl, won't you come to visit me? That sort of thing.
Did she ever mention a name?
Oh no, she only ever called him darling.
Do I get the sense that he's holding anything back from what he's telling us?
Doesn't seem like it. Just being, it does feel like despite his asshole attitude, he is in a way trying to show his appreciation for you dealing with her.
Okay.
Hmm. So she was speaking to a man, one who she was fond of, and one I have a singing suspicion of already. Lakina,
Yes.
your senses are sharp. She said it loud enough for all of us to hear. Do you have any idea why someone would command her not to harm you in specific? I have an inkling. I don't really like the train of thought.
If you are implying that my father would have commanded her not to harm me, I did not know if that would be true.
More or less just confirming the theory in general. I also am curious if there's anything special about, well, she kind of just eyes her in general. Your body, your makeup. They wouldn't want to harm you. She kind of looks at Noah for a second. Your... Actually, I guess Noah and Lilia. more than one person applies to this sort of idea. You're a type of vessel that is more sturdy and special than others for a purpose.
I understand. Perhaps they wish to utilize my body for something, and therefore they did not wish to harm it. Is that correct?
It's only one train of thought. Another could be they're fond of you for some reason, which is concerning in itself. Myself, Noah.
Hmm.
You need to set up something to keep Priscilla from escaping. Magically or otherwise.
How long?
As long as it would take for us to question her. A few minutes.
Few minutes.
Likely be out for a few hours.
I can probably simply repeat cast my sphere and keep her in there. She won't be able to escape it.
I need to be able to influence her magically. The sphere would prevent that.
Hmm.
And
To
besides, the
fully-
creature was able to teleport out from your sphere. That would likely not stop her from doing the same.
If you're asking me if I have something that prevents teleportation, I don't.
Best thing
But
I might be able to hope for is that my chains will hold her here.
I can be at the ready with a counterspell if necessary.
That would also be useful.
As we've got.
I think your chains are probably enough. She's healing, look, but not very quickly. And it will likely prevent her from doing much more anyway.
Quick
should
question. Oh, go ahead.
We should also have a team go check the rest of the summoning circles. I want to make sure that those demons can't come back. We need to destroy them completely.
I mean, I'm not real good at the magic stuff, so I can go help with that.
And Iluna, I don't know if you want to be here for the questioning, but I also know that your connection to the life stream would likely enable you to heal the wounds of this world and make sure that any rifts to the hells are closed.
I don't know about all that, but I'll do my best. I'll keep Lakina here. She has the best sort of senses for this. While you read her mind, Lakina can read her body language. Between the two of you, I'm sure you'll find something.
I was hoping you would help. Anika looks at Lukina.
I will obviously cooperate.
Alright. Either way, the simplest way to get rid of these circles may just be making a big ass slash in the ground. And I'll likely need you. Oop. Oh yeah, Dunkin' Donuts.
He made it so pretty, but it's collapsed, and I'm sad you didn't get to see how pretty it was.
Aw. It's okay, the love is there. You
Fun
mean
sin,
to-
just mid sins. Ah, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts.
I only just got home.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah,
long lab days.
long lab days. Sending
Felt.
reports at 6 p.m. Okay. Have fun. Bye bye.
Do you need me with potatoes or are you good?
The ghost kind of like
You know,
floats closer
Put some
and
salt, pepper.
and asks, "Are you going to wake the bitch up?"
Obviously.
Oh, can I do it?
If you'd really like to, I don't see why not.
Just don't cause any trouble.
Very well, very well. Just can you make her sit upright?
This is getting creepier. I'm gonna walk away and let you guys handle this before I have to watch anything indecent.
Yeah,
And Lily's gonna walk away if Lilia wants to come because I said I might need your muscle to just straight up
it-
destroy
For
circles.
what it's worth, he asks that, and he seems to be sort of like with his hand raised, and like his palm open, clearly like winding up for his lap.
Oh,
He's
I'll
not
watch
like
that.
whipping his dick out.
okay, yeah. I thought he was gonna do the piss thing. I was like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, no.
Pee. I've already seen a
Oh,
hand
and
pee.
speaking of which, if that matters for you guys at all, Priscilla has like a bag containing things.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
we'll take
Mizell
it.
would definitely, like, before we start waking her up, like, take away her bag, her guitar, any other weapons that she might have on her person.
Probably should blindfold her and stop her from being able to bite her tongue. Things like that, by the way.
True.
Which still may not work because, you know,
Her tongue
vampires.
will just grow back, yeah, but it's a good it's a good habit to be in, regardless. If you do any sort of magic detection, you would see that the guitar is magical, obviously, and it has materia slotted into it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mizell will hand the guitar over to Rala and say, "You can play with this. Figure out how it works. Just don't play it, or while we're still in here, or maybe disconnect it from the amplifier."
Oh, I already broke those.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought she only broke one of them.
Oh, she would have definitely been like goblin mode, rummaging inside of the other one while everyone else was just like talking.
Rala has the spirit of punk.
You've just turned the wires into just like a crocheted sweater somehow.
Incredible punk energy.
And Mizell would just kind of like drop her entire backpack into the pouch of holding for now and deal with it later.
What?
Even now, I want to see what's in it. No, Mazel, don't put it away. I want to see what she's got.
Okay, fine. You can play with it while you're dealing with the summoning circles.
I
and
mean,
we'll
we
just
got a
hand it
lot of
over to
stairs to crawl up
Lilia.
and crawl down later.
Also, it's my bag. You can't just put stuff in my hole.
No. I have a pouch of holding.
Bro,
Oh, you got that pouch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You call it a bag. It's a pouch.
think,
I
like,
said
over
no. I
half-
said I put her bag into the pouch of holding.
Oh.
Anyway, he's not doing that. He's handing it over to Lilia.
I'll let you do that.
while you're at it, like you can also detect that the jacket she's wearing is magical,
Mm-hmm.
as well as her,
Ooh.
as well as her eyes, as would be
Yeah.
common.
Okay, well, that was a given.
Oh, I just about thought something awful. I was going to ask if you want to take her eyes out before you woke her up. I don't like that. That's a thought I've had. I think I need some fresh air.
Lady, that's fucked up.
That might wake her up or kill her. We'll just blindfold her for the moment.
Sounds like the kind of thing her people would think about. And he points at
I know
Lucina.
I'm not feeling great about the fact that I thought it.
I think we can wake her up ourselves. We're done with you. And Mizell just kind of casts banishment on the spirit.
The spell
Wait.
slot, though.
What? And he just kind of like vanishes into the ether. He's gonna be back in like a minute, but you know.
Is it not
How
permanent?
dare? No. That
I thought it
changed.
would keep him gone. Wait a second. Am I forgetting how? this
First
shit
of
works
all,
That's not how that spell works.
yeah.
Even the old version, that's not how it works.
now? No, because this is no longer his native plane, isn't it?
Is
the
it?
target is an aberration, a celestial, an elemental, a fey, or a fiend. He's not or any of those. He's undead. That's what they changed. It's not just any creature that is not from that original
what?
plane.
Oh, that's
That is
weird.
exactly kind of why they changed it, and it's why Heidi couldn't use it to get back home anymore.
I can't just like flick a spirit back to the land of the dead. That's so.
Yeah,
annoying.
you can't exorcise creatures with banishment because that's not how it's intended to be.
Okay, never mind. I'm not casting it. That's not worth it. I'll just say, all right, well, we've stripped her of everything magical. Go ahead and wake her up.
Are you opening the pouch before, or are you just
Huh?
a
Oh,
minute later? Because she had like a
I
bag
think
as well.
Lilia was walking off with that.
Yeah, I was walking away with a bag to rummage through it.
Okay, you find while you're rummaging through it, you find it has mostly coins. It's a lot of coins. It's 700 fractals in total. and there is a letter. Well, actually, like a sheaf of letters tucked into it.
What are the letters?
I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna put it on your journal while we do the other thing. Like, cause Lilia would be reading through this, right? Like,
I'm here for muscle. I'm not really part
Yeah,
of
exactly,
the exploring. I'm like, oh, hits. Okay, let me hit it, and then goes back to rummaging.
Okay, see if you can see it on your journal now. It's another entry of someone's diary.
Where would it just be under journal on the top, or in my?
It's in handouts on journal, and then someone's diary. If working correctly, there should be another entry aside from the one that you had already uncovered.
So I don't see any handouts, apparently.
No handouts?
If you look at, are you looking at the top row and clicking on journal?
So yeah, I'm on the journal tab. There's just create journal, create folder, search journal entries.
There's not a folder called handout and someone's diary inside.
I have
What?
nothing.
We'd previously unlocked number 2, right?
I don't
You
have
have,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I have handouts.
Okay, I
Ooh,
manually
someone's diary.
Yeah, I manually set the ownership to you. For some reason, it didn't do that, I guess. Can you see entry number 2 and 3?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the one that is the collection, the stack of papers, would be entry number 3. So feel free to read that while we carry on with the conversation. All right, how are you waking Priscilla up?
Mizell would just kind of like, go ahead. What's his face? Phineas.
Oh, most certainly. Then he kind of charges up his hand and slaps her. It's not a super strong slap because he's not super strong, but it's certainly like a hefty slap. And she immediately startles, kind of oh, what the fuck? She wakes up clearly very angry and still bleeding from several wounds that are sort of sizzling by now. She's like, what the hell is? Oh fuck!
Apologies for that. Phineas wanted a little bit of revenge after your ghost tried to eat him.
How dare you disturb my sleep, you peasant! And she looks at him. She looks at him like, who the fuck are you?
She's looking at Phineas like that?
Yeah. And he's like, well, I am Phineas von Greathelm III. And she's like, I don't fucking care. Get out of my face before I slap you back. And then she seems to try to move, and then she notices that she can't move her hands, and she's like, I guess I'll just figure something else out. And
bother.
Phineas seems to kind of recoil at that. He was oh, she's scarier than I thought she'd be.
She also can't see him because she's blindfolded.
Oh, you blindfolded her? I didn't
Yes.
catch that part.
Yeah, those eyes are magical.
They are.
I did mention that before I left, so I just want to be sure.
Also, just of note,
So she can only hear his bitch ass. She cannot see his bitch ass.
yeah. Mizell would say mentally to Noah, could you please cast Intellect Fortress on both of us? Just in case her words can be magical.
I reply mentally. You and Luna?
Luna went down to investigate. I meant me and Noah.
Oh, both of us, including me. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. Fine. And I... Hang on, with Upcast...
I love how Noah can complain about things I know he agrees with.
You can target one addition. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I will cast at 4th level. Intellect Fortress.
God
I
damn, it takes
don't need
that much higher.
I don't need to touch anybody, but I'm gonna step up anyway and poke Myzel's forehead. And I'll say, wait, what is the phrase that I have for this? I believe it's my. Hang on. My mind is, yeah. Our minds are a temple.
And then Myzel will cast Detect Thoughts on Priscilla and do something he's not done with it before, at least that the rest of the party knows. The kind of mental link between them, normally invisible, shimmers kind of into the visible light spectrum and forms a white circle around her. And he says, "Tell the truth," as he casts Zone of Truth on her. And let me ping that because she will have to make a save against it.
I forgot that you had that. Because I do intend on banning Zone of Truth from my games.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, but since I haven't done that yet, I'll let it fly for now. I just think that spell is horrible.
I mean, it's kind of fair because they can just like refuse to say anything, but
Yeah, but
like,
but it just makes like legal systems in the entire setting completely pointless. The
mm,
moment someone denies, like refuses to say something under Zone of Truth, like that's just an admission of guilt automatically.
You could technically make laws around it.
Yeah, but that's a hassle because then every place has to have a law against Zone of Truth or whatever, and it just makes so many aspects of the game have to like weirdly operate themselves around it. And in real cases, which is possibly what's going to happen right now, if the creature fails, it can just not say anything. Like, and nothing happens.
mm-hmm.
I just don't think it's a good spell to just exist in the game at large, which is why I'm going to remove it. But she fails her saving throw, but I need you to make a spellcasting ability check.
She trying to cast something of her own?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
remember the last time you did this? Or something akin to this? Another
Yeah.
vampire went through someone's mind.
Yep.
It said, fuck you. You want to reroll that?
It is an ability check, so I could re-roll it with my sorcery point.
The question is, do you have to take the new one?
I don't remember. Hang on.
Because 10 isn't shitty.
10 isn't great, but 10 isn't horrible. Let me find the feature.
It's almost like it's the exact average.
So true.
What was it, Chernobyl meme? Something Ronkin. Not good, not terrible.
You say Chernobyl? I thought that was a Jisoo, Blackpink.
No, it's Chernobyl. It's a Chernobyl meme because they were like gauging the radioactivity, and he saw. Just don't remember what the number was, but it says like 30 Ronkin. Not good, not terrible, and it's actually like a really really fucking bad number. Like it means this radiation like up the ass.
Mm.
But he was trying to like downplay it.
Wait, what happened?
So are you rerolling or not?
Let's see. Oh wait, Myzel kind of same. Wait, does Noah still have any instance of his thing yet?
You can't really ask Noah
I know.
to
I
do
can't
it,
really
like, after
ask. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll try to re-roll it. Hey, oh, there we go. That's what
Wow.
we're talking about.
Okay. You do manage to you find some resistance to your magic. Something was trying to keep her mind clean, but with just enough precision of how do you channel your adder through this through the gauntlet on your hand. You managed to bypass it. It was not easy by any stretch, and it was also not by a very wide margin that you've done so, but you succeeded. So she is currently affected by Zone of Truth. She can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Myza will start by saying, "That was some performance, wasn't it?"
You mean my show?
Yes. Where did you learn to perform like that?
I heard someone playing something like that on the street once. You know, picked up a guitar, tried to do the same thing. Folks didn't like it much. Why are you a fan now?
I'm used to music that's not what you would consider ordinary, being from not this land. How did you learn to add add magic into your music?
I didn't learn shit. That's just a guitar.
I assume you didn't build the guitar yourself. Or did you?
Do I look like a fucking engineer?
Perhaps not. Where did you get the guitar?
Not answering that.
Let me double read my ability because I'm trying to remember if I can shift between that and back to mental or not.
I also do not remember.
Finding. Let's see. There it is. It says if you attempt to probe a creature's thoughts using the normal functionalities of the detect thought spell, the effect of this oath ends on any creatures it was affecting. So I could probe thoughts, but would that mean she would then make a separate save for the thoughts, and then if I wanted to re-inflict the zone of truth, she would make a new save for that?
Can you repeat the exact wording?
Let's see. On a failure, the creature cannot speak a deliberate lie as if it were under the effects of zone of truth spell. As the normal use, the creature is aware it was targeted, whether it succeeds or fails to save. If you attempt to probe a creature's thoughts using the normal functionalities of Detect Thought spell, the effect of the oath ends on any creature it was affecting.
The effects of the oath. Yeah, I think that does imply that you need to alternate.
Okay, but like, would I be able to just like flip back and forth, or would she make a new save every time?
I think it. Creature that enters spell there for a time or starts its turn. Yeah, Zone of Truth doesn't really like. And so I think it can just like switch back and forth, but I'm not gonna have her repeat the save every time.
Okay, and my Zell will kind of try and probe into her thoughts for a moment to like see if that answer is on her mind, even though she's refusing to answer it, say it out loud.
Okay. Detect Thoughts was a will save, I think. Yeah. Where's the die that I just rolled? What a conundrum. Makes a wisdom. Yeah. That does not save. So you can probe deeper into her mind. As soon as you begin doing that, she's like, "Get out of my fucking head, you weirdo! What the fuck?"
We need answers about what's going on in this town.
Shit. What were you looking for again?
Who gave her the guitar?
Okay. You. Let me think.
Time for secrets.
I'm trying to think of the exact setting for it. You see in her mind's eye, sort of, from her point of view, her opening the mausoleum doors and receiving a bunch of packages, wrapped hefty packages into the mausoleum. The people bringing those packages there don't seem to be entirely conscious. They seem a little dazed, a little out of it, except for one that is at the front, who is this more elegantly dressed older gentleman, kind of slightly balding, but otherwise looks normal, like a normal Huron man. There is a sense of satisfaction at receiving the packages, and
From her or from the older man?
from her.
Okay.
She turns towards him and goes, "Is that all of it then?" And the guy says, "Correct. It seems that is all of the equipment. There should be instructions for assembly with the guitar itself." She's like, "Cool. That weirdo do anything to you guys?" No, he was quite professional. Well, alright. Didn't know they had this much storage space down there, but guess that's just religious nutcases for you. And she just kind of stretches and goes, "Alright, now fuck off out of my graveyard. I'm gonna assemble these beauties." And she kind of has all of the people who are carrying the parts, leave and begins unpackaging and assembling her little new toys.
Mizell withdraws from her head, and the kind of strand of truth shimmers back between them, and he asks, "How did you open the mausoleum in the first place? I thought it requires 3 keys."
You just go into people's heads like that whenever you want.
When they're uncooperative.
So everyone needs to be cooperative with you, you fucking fascist.
I thought you were gonna say a different word. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking.
I was like, Daka, what the fuck?
All within her rights.
Hey, she may be a vampire, but she's not homophobic.
This
I
is
can't
still
be
more pleasant than
homophobic, but bitch
torture.
gay.
Sorry, what?
This is still a more pleasant method of interrogation than torture. I've seen a fair number of people prodded and poked till they spilled all their secrets. But very painful and not my style.
Do you really think Miss Righteous Panties over there would let you torture me? And Lucina, who's like right beside you, turns to you and says, "She is correct. I would not."
I understand, but I would remind you that the safety of town is at risk. We do have to do some things we normally wouldn't appreciate to save it.
That is a logical slippery slope.
I agree. Now, will you tell me how you opened the mausoleum?
I mean, I got the keys, same as you guys. That's all there is to it.
How did you get the key that was supposed to be under the jurisdiction of the commander of the guard?
Well, somebody snooped it from her and then put it right back where it was. Lucina doesn't seem too pleased with that, but doesn't say anything.
Who do you hold most dear?
Damn.
Jimi Hendrix.
Damn,
Solid
Jimmy.
answer.
Fuck up.
Like, just knowing you, I knew you were gonna say some dumb shit.
I'm
I just
kidding.
love the.
She can't be untruthful technically, so she can't give a sarcastic answer like that. But it would be really cool.
There's
It would
suddenly
seem like it.
a Jimi Hendrix in your world. And it's the vampire we're hunting.
I do like the idea that like that's half true.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, he made Purple Haze. What do you want?
Yeah.
from me?"
It's like duh.
He played guitar with his fucking teeth. Did you see that, man?
Oh, of course. He's a vampire. He's got pointed teeth.
Wait, Jimi Hendrix as a vampire is actually so.
It
Wait.
makes sense. He's got pointed teeth. That's why he was able to play the guitar that way. God damn.
But
I
no,
hate
she
everything.
doesn't say anything.
Myzel will kind of probe back into her mind and
Wait.
see-
Sorry. I apologize. You asked her out loud if there's someone she holds dear, and she didn't say
Who
anything.
does she most hold dear?
Right, and she said nothing.
Yeah.
I will throw something in there.
Oh boy.
I'll say, of course there's no one she holds dear. Look at her. Who could hold her dear?
You'd be surprised, virgin boy.
She can only speak the truth. It's fucking over. God damn.
It's so over.
It's so over, man.
Knocked
and-
out.
You do
And
realize
since-
if she asked you if you're a virgin, you have to tell the truth.
It's that anime thing where like my ghost leaves through my mouth. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
You
I'm
smite
just-
it. Noah suddenly goes
the
grayscale.
arrows,
yeah,
like
I'm
the arrows like
defeated.
stabbing into you.
I'm just defeated on the side.
That's what happens when you take away the sharpest tongue of the group.
But since Noah added that little tidbit that set her off, Myzel, you do when you probe into her thoughts, you delve into some adult-rated thoughts of her with presumably this person that she holds dear in intimate moments.
My job here is done. I'll take one for the team. Fuck.
Am I able to discern any kind of identity from that?
This
We're gonna start making people
the
drop trout. It's gonna be the worst version of Cinderella.
the image itself seems to be a little jammed. Like you can't.
I
It's
bet
like
it is.
it's like you can't focus on the precise form, but you can tell that it's a male individual of like above average height, sort of. Super like elaborate details are a little beyond you. Like it's kind of like it's being censored in the thought, and not just because it's a sex scene.
You can't see the cock veins.
It's kind of like you're perceiving it, but your mind can't fully like register the details. More than it being hidden, it's kind of like you're actually seeing it, but you're not being capable of remembering it. Like after half a second passes. But you can't tell that it.
Does he act like? Is it something that's affecting his mind?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is it-
kind of like in the moment he is seeing the person, but I'm describing it like this because once he talks to any of you, he's not going to be able to tell you what it is. And even if you were to read his mind, you would just have the same experience. You would not be able to fully register what you're seeing.
Can
Beyond
Intellect
something-
Fortress somewhat like guard against that?
Sorry, what?
Like, can the Intellect Fortress spell somewhat dampen that effect? Like, am I able to like write it down?
Not
or draw
fully,
a picture
no.
or anything?
Like you can't like that's kind of like what I'm like the maximum of detail you can get is this. Like it's apparently a man of a little bit above average like height and build. Like doesn't seem to be scrawny necessarily. Other details in that like seems to be like the skin seems to be sort of like lighter colored, but you're also not capable of fully registering that. Hair color and shape like doesn't seem to be like super long hair. You can't just from the form alone, it doesn't seem to be like strands of hair just spread all over the bed or all over Priscilla. But
So Malachi recognizes the head, huh?
But as for the rest, like facial features, hair color and shape, etc., nothing that you can really put your mind to. But the rest of the environment, you can tell that Priscilla and this man are in a kind of like a shack. They're not in the mausoleum. They are in a more rundown house. Doesn't seem to be a very wealthy residence. And you catch glimpses, like first you get this like intimate moment because she was very fiercely thinking about how she gets laid and Noah doesn't. But and like when they are like going at it, it's despite the way that like she's not being like aggressive or as witty as she was being. She's actually being like quite loving and letting herself like be led in the whole interaction. And that also applies to other snippets of things that you see, like them just cuddling on the bed or having breakfast together, etc., or her stringing a tune on a normal looking guitar this time, like not the metal thing. Always in these, it's not always the same room, but it's always like seems to be a underprivileged sort of environment. In a couple of those memories, you seem to catch glimpses of there being other people in the room as well, but they are also a little out of focus.
Also freaks.
They're swingers.
Noah is in the vision.
But there is since you're seeing all of this from her own point of view, you can also feel like a very deep fondness, which to you also feels even like unnatural. Like an intense like passion and love and devotion towards that other person.
So fucked.
Does it feel like maybe she was compelled to feel that way towards him? I
will leave it at my original description.
Okay.
it feels like something you at least have probably not felt in your life.
Damn, are you also calling my Zell a virgin?
I was about to say.
That was not what I was getting at, but you're free to.
I've been thinking about this for 5 minutes now. I think Noah sometimes would cast the frozen hand as the right hand, so it feels like a stranger.
I thought he was asexual this time.
I thought
Yeah,
I
but
thought
have
you were
to
gonna
defend
say like
myself.
I think Noah sometimes fucks. Like
No, but I like he might be asexual, but I feel like I have to defend him
Just
anyway.
because you're ace doesn't mean you can't jerk it.
Yeah, jorking it.
I just feel like that insult wouldn't mean anything to me if I was ace. Maybe
mean,
I'm wrong.
it's just,
Jorking it silly style.
even in that
I
case,
can
is
ask
she
my
wrong?
ace friend and see how they felt about how they would feel about it.
But anyway, as you're still like processing all of these thoughts, Priscilla does say in a sort of like mocking tone, "So you like what you're seeing, bitch boy? Enjoying the show?"
As he kind of withdraws again, Mizell is like doing his best to keep a very poker face, but is a little pink on the ears.
I bet you're looking a bit pink on your ears right about now.
Well,
Yeah, you better back
perhaps
off. Otherwise,
had-
next time I'm gonna have you see some butt stuff.
He might be into that.
don't
You
need
do
to
butt
know
stuff.
what you do with your lover, but you're going to protect the identity of your darling at all costs.
Technically, I don't really have a say on the matter.
What if we could undo the spell that's protecting his identity? Would you tell us how?
No. Why the fuck would I?
You know, in some ways, you're a victim in this situation. You tortured all those people, which does not make you innocent, but you're not the leader of this operation. You could reveal who's behind it all. Do some good.
She kind of like leans forward and kind of like says with a snarl, "Do you really think I'm in any hurry to help this city full of bastards who only gave me shit for trying to do something different? Do you know the kind of life I led here before my darling found me? It was shit. I'm not gonna rat him out for what? The good people of the city? Oh, fuck off. As soon as my darling gets his hands on all of you, you're gonna be bled dry."
Why did you choose the mausoleum in the graveyard? Was it your choice? His?
I like the aesthetic. Originally, I had to just behave like a good little girl and stick to the frosty ends, but in recent times, I have been given a bit more liberty. And so I chose the graveyard. Just because it's fun. It's also really, really funny to make people scared of things. You see that gravekeeper over there? She, she doesn't know where he is, but like she knows he's still around. I made him scared shitless of burying people. Can you imagine a gravekeeper who can't handle burying people?
Is that what a gravekeeper does out of character? Do they
No.
bury people? No, right?
Well,
in like
in this,
maybe in this time,
Yeah.
this time period, probably. In real life, right now, no.
I mean, especially
no.
if it's like an unnamed or unidentified body, they might.
Yeah, but like in this case, like he just kind of like takes care of the whole like graveyard grounds. He tends to like the plants and the grounds, etc., and he buries and unburies people as needed.
So then is your
And-
darling also from the Frosty Ends?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Or did he just come to visit you there? I don't know if that one's worth poking back in for. He'll move on for the moment. How long have you been a vampire?
Why don't you ask Miss Justice Pants over there? And Lucina chimes in. As I previously stated, she disappeared from the city's records about 9 years ago. Presumably that is when she was turned. Full marks!
Ask why she wouldn't attack her.
I will. It's literally on my list already. I'm working down the list. So that was after those scenes you showed me earlier? You were already turned at the time?
Some before, some after. We fucked a lot, unlike you guys.
Why are you
Luna
so obsessed
resists
with
in the
fucking?
distance.
Cause it's nice, and cause it seems like it bothers you, so I'm just gonna keep saying it.
Is that all you're good for, or what?
Yeah, damn.
There's a lot of things I'm good for.
Not this job, apparently.
Speaking of things you're good for, is that why you were chosen? Just because you were his lover?
I don't know, I guess.
That guy probably just needed someone he could control easily. She doesn't seem very smart myself. I don't like this bitch. I'm starting to feel it IRL. Fuck her. God
Starting to
damn.
sound personal.
No, for real. Fuck this. Leave Noah alone, you cunt. God damn.
This is a you don't.
Oh my
and you're like
God.
sitting here mad.
I'm mad at my fucking computer. Get this bitch out of here. God.
Not for nothing, but when she said you guys don't fuck in the far, far distance away from here, the resentment from Aluna resonates.
Speak for yourself, bitch.
Hey now,
Yeah,
you're a rock star.
it's a pity Lilia isn't here to put her in her place.
Either of the two of them would just be hilarious against this energy, and instead they're
Mhm,
over there reading the hottest gossip that there has ever been. Just standing there, just.
Vala
Yeah,
chimes
it's
in.
like-
What's fucking?
There are
shit.
pearls being clutched.
Wait,
Oh,
she's
no,
not
Rolla-
around, is she?
Is Rolla in the room?
He's
Is
just,
Rolla with us or with
sitting
them?
up with the guitar over here.
Okay,
Yeah,
Like
just
in the
sit-
corner
just
playing
playing
with the guitar.
Yeah,
How
Rolla
fully disassociated into that
Yep.
task
She's
is
in
Rolla?
her own world
Oh.
right now.
Okay.
while
Mom
we're
and Dad are fighting in the different room. It's fine.
while we have like briefly paused the conversation, I'm going to also reveal the diary entry to Luna because I saw that in the chat.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna be honest
Aluna's
with you.
getting that information for the first time now. Then definitely hasn't had it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, me and Lily had been like screaming silently in the background to one another like sheep.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you can read that while we
Bah.
continue the convo here.
What a
The
fuck.
circles have not been investigated. Just a heads up to the party, they have not been touched.
I want to.
So,
I want to popcorn read this when it's our turn.
Yeah. So
Okay,
she
okay.
she kind of says, you can say whatever you want, but you both know that if my arms escape this thing for even 1 second, I could strangle the both of you with my bare arms at any second. And you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So you better be careful. Who knows what's gonna happen when I get out?
That implies you will get out. So it was your
And-
darling that turned you then?
And for what it's worth, like when she is trying to be scary, like she is actually really scary. Like the way that she puts her tone into things and carries herself, even in a position that she's in, it's still pretty like intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And you
I like to
ask-
think Mizell like tugs on the silvered whip a little bit and just like digs into her arms a little bit more, just reminding her that she's tied up.
for now. You asked if her darling was the one who turned her.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It sounds like it was, but I would like your confirmation.
Yes, it was. I'm gonna give at least this answer to your stupid little ass.
Have you ever been to the parties on the north side of town?
No, I haven't.
Not your scene?
You could say that.
I feel like they would have enjoyed your performance.
They wouldn't, and I don't like them either.
Why not?
Personal divergences.
Does that mean you didn't get along with them when you were still in the town? Because you were in the pores area? Or just because of who else is there?
The pores area?
The poorer area. Leave me alone. Listen.
Pores area?
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Fine.
Myself van Windblume.
I'm blindfolded right now, but I could see the way you dress, rich boy. I'm gonna let you just say that? Ugh. Rich people are all the same shit.
Do you know who leads those parties?
Yep.
Who? And he's gonna probe into her thoughts again.
Yep. You see sort of like again like a same one of those scenes where she is with her darling, eating like some cake or and drinking tea and something to that effect, and then there is like a knock on the door, and he kind of like, I guess he wouldn't look at his wrist because there are no watches, but he does something that is like similarly a similar kind of like, oh, look at the time, and he gets up, he kisses Priscilla, which means your point of view in the story.
Yes.
And walks towards the door, and when the door opens, there is again a female figure that you can't quite point out details aside from the fact that it's a female figure. Seems to be a little taller than Priscilla, and a bit more curvy too. But you only catch like the briefest glimpse of this this person waiting outside the door before it closes back again.
Does he leave with her?
Yes, he leaves with her.
Okay. So I don't get any, like, a visual that I might be able to identify later.
Aside from the same sort of like generic body type, no. And
Okay.
the overall sense of like, it's not like Priscilla like hates the the woman personally, but she seemed a little irritated that, she was having to essentially share her meal.
Ah, that's why.
What do you think?
Understandable. Jealousy is quite the motivator.
I'm not jealous. Just don't get along. That's it.
I guess that's the truth, huh? That's crazy.
Fair enough. Why were Mark and the others who you tormented here so eager to come back?
Because they know what's gonna happen to them once I'm out of these chains, most of all. If you were a bit more intelligent, you'd act accordingly too.
So they only followed you because of fear?
I mean, saying that they were following me is a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? It's like they were scared shitless and were obeying my orders. But yeah, mostly.
How did you pick them? Just random people you thought you could torment for fun?
Yep.
Do you know what's happening at the sanitarium?
No.
Heard there's some weird things going on there, right? And he kind of glances back at Lucina.
It would appear that there are things worth investigating in the sanatorium, yes. And Priscilla is like, oh, I'm sure there are. I just don't really know what's popping there.
What about the furnace? Do you know what they were trying to make there?
I mean, my stuff, for starters.
What about the rest?
Well, probably something or other, but I don't really know the details. Never really cared.
Who created the vampires that were guarding that place?
I don't know.
Do you think it was your darling? Or does he have others who create more vampires?
I mean, same difference. I really don't. I don't give a shit. Give me him.
Did you create the vampires that served you here?
Oh, that I did, yeah. It was kind of nasty. Corpses don't taste good, but girls gotta get around somehow.
I'm adding that to my notes. Corpses don't taste good. Why did you rebuke the vampire that hit Commander Lucina?
She was being a jackass.
It looked like he just missed. That doesn't seem like jackass behavior to me.
Well, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you?
I would like to probe deeper and see what she's thinking, if there's a more deep reason.
You get like not exactly a scene, but you just get an overall sense of, surprisingly enough, affection for Lucina. it's not really the same kind of affection as she feels like for her darling or anything like that. But there is a sense of concern for her. Like she is something important to be protected.
Does Lucina pick that up as well? Just sort of body language?
Lucina is watching over Priscilla with her sharp eyes.
Unnaturally so.
Do I get the sense that it's Priscilla herself who cares, or this sense of needing to care about Lucina was instilled in her by something else?
It does seem like it's not something entirely formed of her own opinion.
Okay. Speaking to her again, is Father Julius an accomplice in all of this? Bye.
Father Julius has left the chat.
Yeah, right. Oh, we lost Lilia. Brought her back.
She stops for a moment and kind of like you can't see her eyes, but you see her. It's kind of hard, but her face scrunch up just a little bit. It feels like at first she is not going to say anything, but then she says, "You know what? Yeah, he is." Lucina, to your side, like clearly widens her eye like 2 millimeters, which for her is a lot.
Is he your darling?
Fuck no. As far as I'm concerned, you can just get out of here and head straight to the church and kick that jackass's butt.
Why is Father Julius helping out?
Don't know.
Is the mayor an accomplice?
The mayor is senile.
So he's just being manipulated by Father Julius.
I honestly think that was going on before I even had anything to do with this city.
Yo, fuck this city, man.
Who is Marco Windranen?
It's a writer, isn't it?
Is he anything more than a writer?
I mean, it might be.
Can I probe into her mind again and see if she knows anything more at the mention of Marco Windranen?
She seems to be recalling reading his novels by her in her room. You catch many glimpses of her reading and reading and reading his novels. With candlelight in the summer, in the winter, during the day. Not a lot during the day because, you know, but there's a lot of reading. Sometimes she's even in bed with that person that you had seen before and reading one of those novels with a marveled look on her face.
This ability is so insane. This is some Eisen shit.
Is Marco Windrenin a human? Or Heroin, I guess.
Yeah. She doesn't say anything.
Can I pull anything from her brain regarding the knowledge?
You're still seeing the same image of her flipping through the book
Mm-hmm.
together in the bed with whomever it is.
Is Marco Windrenin your darling?
At this point, you get the clear sense that she is, like, you can see her eyes, which again makes it harder.
Mm-hmm.
But her posture and like her expression, it seems like she's really concentrating on this memory you're seeing of her right now.
Mizell mentally says to Noah, hey, say something silly. Maybe it'll distract her.
About to be
Oh.
savage.
In chat, there sure was an I'm
Oh,
stepping
yeah.
away for a second from him.
That was 8 minutes ago. He's not back yet? So rude.
Maybe he had to shit. I don't know.
So true.
We all have to at some point, right?
Oh shit, girl,
No.
you gotta.
Especially when your Chipotle argues with you.
Yep.
You don't think I can D&D and be on the bathroom at the same time?
No.
You'll never know.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a threat.
No.
Well,
I was kidding. I never go to the bathroom during D&D.
I should have
That's why we're diaper gamers.
done this a while back,
no.
but at this point the spell has probably ended already, because it has been a pretty long conversation at this point, so you would need to recast it.
Mizell, yeah, would fully intend on recasting it as many times as needed to
Yep.
extend it.
Which means she gets another saving throw against it.
It's
So
true.
you could just
but
extend it with a sorcery
heightened
point.
spell will make her have disadvantage on it.
Okay. She fails, but you also need to go through the protection again.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can add something else to this modifier or to this?
Yeah,
thing?
spellcasting ability checks are tough because of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like, this conversation you guys been having probably around like 20 minutes at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already giving like a hefty discount on the time there, because mostly because I forgot.
Fair.
I mean, realistically, it's been an hour.
Yeah, just we've been pretty much talking the whole session, so discounting some
We've been
small,
fucking off
like,
a little
out of
bit.
yeah, with some
No,
out of
this
character breaks. Like,
conversation has been an hour.
it's been at least like half an hour in
Yeah.
in the world probably, but yeah.
I wish it was like like an old phone booth where he could just like keep feeding sorcery points in it to keep it going.
Yeah, but
The spell should be like that.
Is that your final ability check?
But
Final answer.
no, I'm gonna try it again because I know that that was barely a success the last time.
Well,
No,
Nope. This
no,
time...
give me another reroll.
What?
Pull the strings of time and fate.
But yeah, this time you do feel a rebuke from her mind, like as your magic tries to like, the magic fades, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go in again, and this time there's this like, you feel a large shadow like engulfing your magic and almost threatening to get back at you. Kind of like it's saying, enough of that.
Mizell kind of just like retreats within the intellect fortress for a moment and grimaces.
Ah. Would you look at that? Not so tough now, are you?
Your darling protects you,
Of course he does.
even in the final hour. Commander, is there anything else that you can think to ask her?
What are your numbers in the city? See, that would have been a good question to ask while I still had to tell you shit, but now I don't. So fuck off.
What does that mean?
Can I assume that I can't try recasting the spell?
Oh, numbers.
You can try, but like if you do, you're going to feel the same. Like it's a sort of like time-based thing. Once you fail to get through the protection, you can't try again for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can only assume they're large. And Mizell will now cast Sleep on her.
Okay.
She has to make a... He'll do a heightened again.
She fails, actually.
Okay. So
How long
she's
does
now
that
asleep. 1 minute. Mizell will turn to Lucina and say, I don't think we'll be able to get anything else out of her. Should
I
we
agree.
drag her out into the remaining sunlight and let it finish her off? Do you wish to try and keep her a prisoner? She will not be easy to restrain.
It did not feel as though she would be inclined to switch sides. When she spoke, her hatred for the city seemed genuine, and for the people. I do not know what happened in her past, but at least I could tell that much. Given the circumstances, keeping her alive would mean that she could be a source of information once more, possibly, if the situation developed. But it also meant that the enemy could rescue her and she would once again be a liability against us. On the whole, it seemed like she was inclined to perhaps collaborate more on the matter of Father Julius, but not on other affairs. And I do not know if her animosity towards him would be enough for her to actually actively side with us, rather than backstab us if we enlisted her aid. Given the
I agree.
circumstances,
Go on.
executing her could be a safer option.
I agree with your assessment, but wanted your approval before we do anything of the sort. I look outside. Is there still enough daylight that I think it might destroy her?
It's like late afternoonish, but yeah, probably.
Okay. He says, then, I can't carry her myself. I'm not that strong, but I can keep her bound if you'll assist me.
Very well. She goes and like sort of like grabs Priscilla, like carries her body out. Rella Sokmali, we are leaving.
Okay. She'll just pick up the guitar and start walking out with them.
Might as well say to Noah, Noah, can you do one more sweep of the place and see if there's anything we should take with us?
I'm muted. I don't have a broom with me, but I'll look around.
Much appreciated.
How big is this place? Like, is the size accurate here?
Because your mom.
It's a little larger than the map. Like it's a
Okay.
little bulkier. The walls are quite hefty.
I will cast.
Give me just a sec. You can continue conversing. I just really need to hit the bathroom.
Good luck.
Hit it with what?
His fat cock.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You know what? On that note, I'm gonna go use it too.
Oh, you're gonna do the same? shitting
On
yourself
that
again?
note, crazy.
Like, speaking of fat cocks.
Also me.
Also, on that note, BRB again.
Go piss. Actually, you know what? Sure, I'll go piss too. Gang, gang.
I'm just gonna sit here.
BRB, I'm just gonna helicopter to the bathroom real quick. Go piss, girl.
I'm back. What's popping?
Everyone went to the bathroom.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I didn't.
It seems I'm a trendsetter.
I'm not.
I
trying
wanted to. I wanted to cast
Gang, 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 gang.
gang fat. No, I wanted to cast Flock of Familiars.
Mm-hmm.
I wish to turn them into 3.
Familiars.
Yeah, I wonder though.
Golbats.
3 Golbats. 3 Geodudes. I wish. Yeah, no, like, fuck, what animal is thematic? I guess bats. Fuck it. 3 bats. And with them and my own eyes, I wish to look around and just scout the area once more and see if there's anything we might have missed.
Inside this room?
Yes.
Right. Roll me perception checks for them.
Okay. I will roll 1 for myself. Not bad. Then bats. Let's look up the bat stat.
The bat stat.
Bat stat.
They are in the Noah's Critters folder.
Oh, they are? Oh, true. Yes, they are. No critter. No critter. Okay, they don't have proficiency, so I suppose. What a shit animal. Sorry,
Yeah,
they're
bats are
owls.
pretty.
They're owls now. 3 owls.
The good thing about bats is they're blind sight, but not much else for that.
Yeah.
That
So-
combined with the fact that owls are so fucking goated, it's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, so excuse me, fuck the flavor, but we're going for quality.
It's fine. Alright. Your owls scout the whole area. And they don't seem to find anything else in the room aside from like the wreckage of the amplifiers that are like laid there, and several bottles of alcohol and other things that were scattered from Priscilla's things, but seems like everything that she brought there is kind of like was kind of on her person, either on wearing her, or she was wearing them, or on her in her bag.
Myzel, doesn't look like there's anything left here of interest.
Maybe collect a few pieces of the amplifiers just to analyze back at the house.
You're asking me to carry things?
You have a little pouch of holding.
Bold to assume Rala didn't take it already.
True. I mean, if Rala has collected some pieces already, then that's absolutely
She would have been
fine.
like climbing inside those things, just grabbing wires and crap.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, she's so greasy right now.
as for the item, like the guitar itself. Also, did you take her jacket? Like, did you
Yes.
remove her
The
jacket?
jacket is in my Zell's pouch of holding.
Okay, I'm just gonna reveal the items to you guys then. Where is the little button for showing to players? Dying day, pop out, other options, show players. Update permission, make visible to all users. Oh, that's handy. There's no icon because you can just find your own icon or make your own if you wish. Like,
Good name. Good name.
The great axe.
Oh, the battle jacket is awesome.
I only see the equalizer.
Did it also
Same.
reveal the battle jacket?
I only see...
Oh,
No, I think it's 'cause
just
he's
probably
gone.
because I can already see it.
It's because it has the permissions. But I'm gonna reveal the.
But
battle
I mean,
jacket.
I have it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Oh my god, random ass pop up on top of the equalizer.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm kidding.
Use your charisma instead of your dexterity.
Look at that, Tunkoy. Wait, can you even wear light armor?
I love the battle jacket, that's so funny.
Can you? Where'd you get light armor proficiency from?
I'm pretty sure that's sorcerer.
Oh no, you got it from rogue. You have rogue anyway.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you have rogue, but sorcerers don't get armor proficiency.
Yeah.
Sorcerers don't get
Dude.
it. I know this well.
Yeah, sorcerers and wizards are the only classes that don't get any armor proficiency. I think monks don't too, actually.
Bozo.
Hmm.
Let's go, rogues. Let's go.
But yeah, so basically the battle jacket lets you use your charisma and can open a mosh pit, and the equalizer is a guitar and a great axe. You can sort of have some benefits in both of the modes, and you can keep switching, like alternating between them.
The mosh pit is so fucking funny.
It's really cool, right?
That's hilarious.
I saw it on Instagram like a few weeks back, and I was like, "This is perfect." But the equalizer is a custom DACA production. There's also a lightning materia, but I'm gonna put that one in later. It's a lightning materia 2, like second tier. That was
That's already slotted
into
into the equalizer.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's slotted into the equalizer. You can take it out if you wish, but it is there. But continuing with the scene, I believe you guys were carrying Priscilla out of the mausoleum, right?
Yes.
And over the course of, so to pop back to Iluna and Lilia, over the course of the conversation, you were intending on hitting the crypts and kind of like ruining the demon circles, right?
Yes.
I think
we
we
need to-
probably had time with how long that conversation took to do it, but they would have been backed had they not spent probably 30 minutes just reading.
I'm kind of freaking out. Are you freaking out?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Let's just
Gotta,
let's fuck up these circles and get back up to them.
yeah.
I'll make a arcana check. It's like, do I just need to fuck up the circle so it doesn't work, or does it seem like they're a nerd anyway?
Do you want to inspect the circles more closely with like a...
I'll detect magic and then arcana check.
Okay, you can roll an arcana check or religion, whichever you wish.
They're the same. Which one? Could I do both just to see if I get different things from them? Or would I get the same things regardless?
You do get different things out of them, but I'm not too sure. Well, yeah, you could do both.
Yeah, because I
Fuck
feel like
it.
inherently they're kind of different what I'm looking for.
All right.
Then a Mr. Religion class.
From your Arcana check, you can analyze that this is an inert sort of circle. It doesn't seem to be applying any, and not just inert, but it's not carrying any sort of like arcane formulas. So if it has like magic of some kind, it's not
Esoteric?
of a. It's not of it's not of a kind that you would be able to recognize, but in any way it doesn't seem to be connected to any kind of like ley lines or invoking any powers, and doesn't seem to be active even. From the religion side, which is more like a occult knowledge sort of thing, it does look like these are lingering. These are like after effects of a demon, sort of like materializing in the material plane. It doesn't. The accounts of demons using such methods to appear usually don't refer to the circle being used beyond the original appearance of the demon. And
Is there use for the circle at all to them? Like, if I copied it down later, would it be like a way to summon a demon?
yes, if you were to like replicate this circle and perform other specific rituals, which you would not be aware of right now, you could possibly try to call upon a demon, but the demon is not under any obligation to actually,
Answer.
Yes, answer. And analyzing the sigils, it does seem like each of those circles is a bit different. One of them, from the room where you fought the ghost in, seems to have some iconography related to spirits and ghosts. Another seems to have iconography related, there's literally a drawing of an eye. And other things that seem to rely on invoke gaze.
I'm right here.
G-A-Z-E. G-A-Z-E, gaze.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I also knew as soon as it left my mouth. I was like, fuck. The other seems to have some symbols related to like the underground and death and coffins in general. And the fourth is a little different from them. You can't quite tell at first glance what it seems to be evoking. There are just a few, just gives you a little bit of a sense of many of the symbols in the circle are isolated. They seem like far apart from one another. There's a just that feeling of being off on one's own, sort of.
I will copy them down really quick in a journal, but then fuck them up anyway, the circles, just so someone else can't see these or like copy them, like enough so they're no longer legible.
Okay.
Just like kicking at the dirt.
Yeah, I'll tell Lilia, like cracking the knuckles and sort of bringing out Ronder's spear, halberd. Like, all right, make it so it can't be read.
Can do.
Yeah, fuck it up while they're, and that's what we do while they're talking the entire time. We fuck it up.
All right, you fuck up the circles, and as you're coming back to the mausoleum, you meet them on the way out. Lucina carrying a sleeping Priscilla on her arms.
We got as much information as we could. This is going to be the end of her.
How does Lucina feel about having to carry her out into her death?
Are you asking out loud, or are you trying to gauge that?
I'll gauge it with my eyes first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go from there.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Hey, it's not bad.
She doesn't seem pleased about it, but she's also not like she's not hurt about doing it. But it also doesn't bring her any joy.
Don't think anyone's pleased about it. Like taking someone out to their death.
Yeah,
Well-
that's the thing. Like, she has like a bit of a grim expression on her face, but it's not like it's being like traumatizing for her to do it.
It's not personnel.
Nothing
I think-
personnel, though.
I think Aluna will just take it off her shoulders then.
Do you wish to carry her instead?
Yeah.
Very well. She kind of like presents the sleeping Priscilla to you. She's quite peaceful when sleeping, which is very contrasting to her usual self.
Don't have a productive conversation.
A lot of interesting leads, but nothing that I would call hard evidence.
We'll carry her, and as we get to the door, I think I'll try. I don't know her that well. No, I don't think I will then, actually. We'll just
Find
carry
and
her
keep
out.
your secrets.
I was gonna, I was gonna try to do something with the live stream. Maybe perhaps sort of set her on a path. But I was like, you know what?
Could
Don't
try
know
and
where we're
find
going
out
now.
if she's linked to any, like, where the person she's linked with in this land is.
I don't know if that's something I can do. That's even more esoteric. I mean, I could
don't know.
try.
Isn't it like a legend lore type thing?
More for a location.
Uh,
Using it for people is kind of a different thing. Though I can kind of use it for something else. Later. Now that we have more info. But you know, I'll walk her out to the end.
You what?
To her end.
Oh, yes. You drag her into the light, and again, kind of like
And-
late afternoon, so you need
it's-
to find a spot with like abundant sunlight. There's already a lot of shade, and the shade doesn't really hurt her. But you do.
Does anyone want her eyes, by the way? I don't even really want to bring it up. I'm not gonna put it in my head.
Oh, you don't have to get the eyes out before. The eyes are gonna stay behind. Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Mysel's gonna
Imagine
try
my
and
eyes
like.
just like melt.
I know that like the sleep spell normally, like says that if they wake up if they take any damage, but considering like she was already at 1 or 0 HP and maybe regenerated a little bit, he's gonna try and hold her asleep so that the sun damages her and like it like kills her, but she does so peacefully. If he can, he's gonna try.
Okay, make a spellcasting ability check.
Okay. Any proficiency or just raw?
Well, just the charisma.
Okay. I will re-roll that. That's
Can we
whole.
not call rolls raw anymore, please?
I'm doing it raw. I'm raw dogging it.
Not this.
My God.
Right. You, as Iluna drags her out to the sunlight, you do channel a little bit more of your ether into the enchantment that is already on her mind and reinforce it. So as she is brought to the sunlight and begins to burn, indeed, she doesn't wake up. She just remains asleep. Not, there is a little bit of perhaps reflex muscle movement as her skin is literally burned off of her bones, but still.
Mm-hmm.
She remains asleep, and Iluna, you just feel her beginning to turn to ash before your eyes and on your arms, and it's weird because you didn't strip her naked or anything. So it's not like everything just burns to ash. Just she burns to ash, and eventually it kind of flows through your hands, and you're just holding a bundle of clothes where a person used to be, that's covered in gray ash, and a pair of now disembodied red eyes just pops to the floor.
Myself kind of has a jar ready and catches them in it.
It took a little bit longer too, because it seems like her skin was a little resistant to heat in general, but not to a degree where it makes you have to sit there where she burns.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you find a better life next time.
Right. There is one more, before we move on, there is one more reward. Aside from the eyes, which I will be also revealing eventually. At the end of the session, I just don't want to interrupt the moment now. One of you can, after having interacted with this very menacing person who had a knack for terrifying others, it kind of leaves an impression on you, as twisted as she was. One of you, and I will let you guys choose who, can gain proficiency in intimidation.
Ooh.
And before anyone asks, if you already have proficiency, you can't turn it into expertise.
Can't or can?
Cannot.
Not it.
I want it.
I already
I
have
want
it.
it. I want it.
This man really is turning into Batman.
Right. If everyone is agreed, Maisel can gain proficiency in intimidation. Alright, carry on. Priscilla is burned and her eyes have been bottled.
I hate wasted potential.
Agreed. She could have chosen, well, not easily, but she could have tried to fight against the enchantments. But I think she truly loved whoever we were up against. Even if she was annoyed that she had to share him with others at some points.
I think she truly hated this place.
In many ways, she was a victim as well. A victim of a system that set her up for failure. And when presented with a chance to take power, she took it and then abused it at the inflicting fear on others. And in the same way, she became the tormentor where she once was the tormented.
Obelisk.
human life is so cyclical in nature like that.
You say that like you're not.
Well, not entirely. I won't say things are all sunshine and rainbows back home. We have our own problems too. But some things are also unique to heroine cities and culture, societies.
Luna said that's what makes human life so beautiful. She could have chosen differently.
And that's why I don't regret what we've done. We're going to have to stop this and return peace to the city. The way to make improvements to the city is through those who will live within it, not one person assuming total power and forcing it on others.
Anyway, we got rid of the circles. They're not legible anymore. But much more worrisome are all these notes.
Yeah.
How do you
Guys,
want?
Jennifer
You want
Coolidge
to go?
again.
You want to go paragraph?
Do we want to talk about this here in the graveyard or go back to the house first?
Probably back to the house. We can look over everything there.
Commander, would you like to accompany us?
You'll need to be present for this conversation. Non-negotiable.
I am not overly tired. I can accompany you back.
I need to see you sleep one day. I'm not quite sure I believe that you do.
I require sleep, as humans usually do.
Hmm.
But regardless, is there anything else you would like to settle at the graveyard?
We need to find out who that was planting the flowers. But
I mean, they could have just been somebody like, doing their job here.
it's true, but they were very afraid of what was going on in the mausoleum, as if they knew something of it.
I mean, it could have just been her doing what she did to the grave keeper.
She did
Yeah,
say
making
she
them
enjoyed
afraid
making
of-
people afraid.
I agree, but
There might
we
have been
should-
some making them afraid of the flowers while they were planting them or something.
We should still confirm it.
Well, if you can track down one person in the city,
Do you know of a sun elf who lives in the city? He looks over at Lucina.
She kind of like raises an eyebrow. There are many such individuals.
And he'll describe her, and if I remember right, female. And
It's kind of like you asked, like, do you know a black person who lives in the city?
It's- I mean, okay, true.
yeah, you can. I know many.
But
black
at the same
people.
time,
do
I
you
feel
know
like
an Asian?
the city is mostly heroines, right?
See, it's
it
easy for you
is-
guys. You know one black person.
Yeah,
I
it
know at
is.
least two.
It is like a majority of Hurons, but there are basically like a few people of most other races. Mostly, usually dwarves and Zenitarians, but the others are also like in some capacity. Sun elves in particular, like they are usually kind of like everywhere, a little second to humans in how around they are. They're just no Onigins, because
Lore.
yeah.
And he'll kind of describe her some more. That individual ring any bells?
It could be a florist that lives near the Frosty Ends.
You're not beating any of the memorized every single person allegations.
I must know the people of the city if I am to protect them.
You know, most people say that, and they still need some. Luna just looks exasperated at that sort of like logic. It's like I can't argue with this monster of logic. I can't.
It's worth keeping an eye out for her, but we don't need to go interrogate her about what happened here.
Very well.
Maybe with the Gojo, just like I'd win.
Let's.
I do believe she was probably intimidated into doing gardening work for Priscilla. That is likely all there was to it.
Probably. How is the graveyard looking? Is it like still very torn up, bodies everywhere and things like that?
Yeah, it's quite torn up. The gravekeepers seem very keen on just leaving and not coming back to this job in general. It does seem like he has like a permanent fear of coffins and things related to burials now.
Right.
So Lucina essentially like authorized him to go home and be dismissed and said like I will have people clean this up later.
All right. Is there any evidence out here that you think we should store in the mausoleum for safekeeping until later?
Evidence.
For example, the amplifiers that are inside. I think if we need to inspect those, we should try and keep them in the state they are.
The amplifiers are a good start, but also preserving the vampire bodies is a good choice.
How much of the amplifiers? And this is a Rala question. How much is left after Rala? You have a bag of holding, so.
She would have only taken like, I don't know, like vacuum tubes and stuff. So, God's discretion.
Parts she found interesting.
Well, speaking of which, Rala dear, come here. And we'll just snap her fingers and clean off like the grease and smudge off her.
What? What? Okay. What? Oh, that's better than taking a bait.
Yeah, if you learn how to do it, you can always do that. And flavor your food, like I told you before.
Alright, let's go ahead and put the rest of the vampire bodies in the mausoleum to preserve them. Well, what's left of them, at least. And we can revisit it later as needed. Commander, are you opposed to us hanging on to the keys until this mess is over?
Given what we have learned from Priscilla, I authorize it.
Appreciate it.
Let's hurry this along. I want to share the notes.
What did you say?
Let's hurry this along. I want to share the notes with you.
So we'll just
Very
like
well.
quickly clean up any evidence that we think is probably needed to keep safe inside the mausoleum before someone else comes to actually tidy up the graveyard properly.
Eat.
And then we head back to the house.
Alright, you make your trek back to the house. By the time you reach the city gates again, it's already night out. You know, early night hours. Kind of like 6. The guards again don't seem all too pleased with Lucina in general, but let you in with no further concern. And you make your way through the streets of Great Helm.
Of note, just for the record, we did fully close the mausoleum behind us.
Yeah, yeah. It is like some shops are closing up, others are going to stay up for a little bit of time still. It is, I believe, Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Let me update this to evening. It's Friday evening. Many people are closing up early to hit up bars to drink and such other forms of merriment. There's a lot of bustling in the streets at this hour of night, but other shops are still open and making a little bit of a profit from before closing up for the weekend. You can reach your house, the abode that you have rented, easily enough. Get in. It's as you left it.
Alright. Let me and Lilia share what we found through these notes. Do you want to go paragraph for paragraph, Laura?
Yeah. But do you have the first one, or do you want me
Yeah,
to take
sure.
the first one?
I'll start the first one.
I'll just show it to everyone, because then you can read along
Yeah, I want Popcorn to read this.
better. Yeah.
Oh, this has entry number 2 on it too.
This is what?
Entry number 2 is the one we found before. I
Oh,
don't remember where.
okay. So, okay.
Did it show the third one as well?
No, it did, but I didn't see.
It like flashed up.
Yeah, what she shared with me was 3, so I didn't know 2 was also like in it.
Okay. Yeah, the
Let's see
second
here
one is
now.
also in the diary.
Can you remind me
Entry
where we
3.
found the second one?
The furnace.
Right. The furnace.
Entry
keeper.
3, the Seekers. Grimvar's demise was sudden and devastating. To most of his servants, I was no exception to that. My magical abilities were suddenly gone, their source ran dry. And though I remained a vampire in nature, one could say I was knocked down a rank or 2 in the grand pecking order of things. For one, I could no longer survive without blood, which quickly became an issue. I managed to remain and thrive in hiding for a few years more, courtesy of my eyes, exceptional abilities. But the Jotun grew wise to the existence of the Crimson Corpse and built machines to hunt us. Fleeing became a necessity. With a heavy heart, I bid my little harem farewell and ventured out.
To be quite honest, dear reader, I have never been the biggest Grimvar loyalist. We had a neat, mutually beneficial little arrangement, but I secretly yearned for the day when we would either perish or obliterate the garden for good. That I could finally be set free into the rest of the continent and hear its tale for myself. My writing mind is, of course, peerless, but one could only hear so many stories being stuck in a single city for 200 years. Eventually, you get tired of recycling the same material into increasingly derivative vitriol.
My following years were spent hopping from town to town, a lifestyle perfectly suited to hiding one's true nature, never bearing the same name for long. Wherever I went, I craved for 3 things: blood, stories, and sex. The quest for this holy triad eventually led me to Windcrest, the oldest city beyond the wall. It was there where I met another ex-Crimson Corpse, like me. He shared with me that he, too, had struggled with the diminishing powers once the Great Worm passed, but as a scholar himself, had been working towards restoring his form back to and beyond what he used to be. Invited me to join his research group, which so far included himself and the infamous heiress of the Vroskovs. I must confess, the thought of pursuing such things had never crossed my mind until then, but it felt like an irresistible story to be part of, accompanied by those whose deeds would rightfully put them in the history books. Already had, in Selena's case. I accepted and became the 3rd Seeker of the Lunar Ascendancy. Honestly, the only thing I regret is this dreadful name.
Each member was left to resume our shared goal in their own way. though Redacted's knowledge of lunar magic was our starting line, and he charitably used it to bring all of us a little closer to what a higher vampire ought to truly be. He remained in Werncrest with his antiques and relics, and Selena holed herself in a laboratory somewhere to do unsavory things to her subjects. Eventually, a fellow named
Sylvander.
Ilvander?
Ilvander.
Ilvander.
It's
Also,
trendy.
Ilvander also entered the fold on von Braskov's recommendation and joined her in her laboratory. I initially thought he was also entering her folds, but I've changed my mind. Unfortunately for her, this guy doesn't seem interested in things, but he at least has some interesting stories, being the only one of us from beyond the wall as he is.
I must, once again, be honest to whomever has found these words. My interest in ascending was and has always been merely secondary to my simple desire to participate in such a remarkable gathering. But I still need to pull my weight somehow. One gets tired of fabricating stories to tell in our little regular communications, and I do wonder what the perspective of a true vampire, a real eternal, is like. Would my entire worldview change in any way once I ascended? And so, would I put every story I'd ever heard in a different light? The thought does excite me somewhat.
In the interest of finally putting in some effort, I once again set off with a new identity for myself. This time, one that was truer to my real talents, going as far as using my birth name. I am, however, no scholar like Redacted or arcanist like Ilvander, or alchemist like von Vraskov. What I do have are my eyes. Journeying the land once more, I tried to stay alert to any opportunities of leveraging them in some way.
And that's when I arrived at Greathelm. Nakina, more and more evidence is starting to pile up in a way that isn't savory. This is uncomfortable. Maisel, Noah, do you know if vampires can produce offspring? And if so, what traits would they have?
We've seen them. And their offspring, I mean.
I don't mean in. When you're saying offspring, are you saying like the ones like they make turn into vampires? Is that what you're
Yeah.
implying?
Yeah.
No, I mean through natural means, if that is at all possible.
I'm thinking no. Just
Didn't we
general
ask
rule
this
of thumb.
already? And try
I
and figure
don't
that?
remember the facts. That's why I'm asking my vampire voice.
I'm fairly sure my answer is no, unless DM says otherwise.
They can. They
They
can have
can?
children. Yes.
They can have sex and make babies.
But their children would have vampiric traits. That is
Interesting.
almost non-negotiable.
Right.
Besides the kind maybe we already have met the others, but they can have kids if that's what you mean.
And would
They'll
they
be like-
have any sort of traits becoming of a vampire?
Some, maybe not all. Traits, I mean, not all the kids.
They would almost certainly have to have some, being born of vampiric blood.
Might have something like enhanced senses.
Enhanced senses, maybe special eyes, maybe don't need to sleep, don't like the sun.
The
Can
ability
walk
to
on
sense
walls.
people's emotions with just a bit of focus.
Didn't we already establish, though, that Lucina is not related by blood to Marco?
Yes, she was going to point that out.
Oh, okay. I thought that was wait, then what is...
No.
How did...
She was most certainly born of her mother, but nobody in the family has feline traits, which is how the whole city knows.
Oh, okay.
Looking as a bastard child, a reason for which she has been scorned her whole life.
Okay, so
never mind.
the case is built different then.
She's built different.
Okay, then yeah, never mind. That was
She
information we had.
has a deal with the feelings devil.
Only cat with a sense of empathy.
The empath devil. Oh my god.
The empath devil? Oh no. It's called a therapist.
That's not a
The
self-insert.
therapist devil.
The therapist devil.
Probably pretty powerful.
It's just me with like a pair of horns. Very
I
short
threaten
horns.
I will care about you.
But yeah,
To
That's
any
she,
relation
frightening.
by blood, there's no hard evidence, but suspicion is continuing to mount against Marco. The Priscilla refused to answer whether he was a human, which almost certainly confirms he's not, and also refused to confirm whether or not he was the one who she'd been seeing and turned her.
And he's walking around with a magical amulet that can shroud him in some way.
protect
And
him
Noah,
from divining magic at the very least.
and Noah clocked that he is operating at a much higher facility than most men his age.
He is pretty abnormal, which really explains how he's such a good author.
Are you going to be able to fight him if it comes to it?
Why wouldn't I?
Just checking.
Would you be able to fight him if it came to it?
Not on my own, but I'd be willing to.
So you'll need help then, huh?
Obviously.
You better start acting right then, Myzel.
What is it supposed to mean?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I do love you too, making jest.
I think our next most promising lead is that Father Julius is confirmed to be an accomplice of some form.
that is correct. I intend on leaving here and making sure Catherine is safe.
Julius
like
Hendricks.
Father Julius Hendricks. Yeah, there
He
you
was
go.
fucking her. Oh my
I-
Oh
god.
no, he was getting called daddy, not father.
Oh my god.
I do not believe she will be easily convinced of the evidence we
Word.
have, but at the very least I must.
Do you intend to take him into custody right away?
That would be rash. I am not in very good standing with the city's military, and Father Julius is a beloved community leader. If I attempted to arrest him without something decisive, there is a near absolute possibility that there would be a revolt in the guard, and I would be ousted, if it were, as it were.
I agree. We need to keep you where you are and find evidence against Father Julius before we make a move against him. Just
I
need
do
to make
think
sure
we're
that everyone's
still-
safe and keeping an eye on him.
I do still think we're putting the cart before the horse here. If Marco is one of the Seekers, it is hard to think of any other at this point. It means we have to deal with him, and then some wizard in Windcrest.
But we also don't have any evidence against Marco either.
Marcel, how are you
No.
feeling
In what way?
with regards to talking about a certain
Sel has
wizard in Greencrest?
heard the mentions of the wizard in Rincrest, but has not deigned to discuss the topic.
I know, but how are you feeling about it?
Oh, I guess that's for Lucina's benefit.
Yes.
I think my Zell would be, for the most part, acknowledging. I probably know who that is, but that's down the road. We'll deal with it later. I don't think he's concerned in any way right now because it's not related to the task at hand.
Okay, he's not agitated.
No, he's kind of like, yeah, I know that's a future problem. I've always known that's a future problem. I'll deal with it when it comes.
Yeah.
I think in response to what you said, though, with evidence, Luna will press. That is true, but we theoretically have the thing he cares most about. He even wrote it himself. This ascendancy isn't the most interesting thing to him. And I wonder why he would go through the effort of having us investigated for the story. I'm not saying we can't prove anything yet, but his involvement, it doesn't sit well with me.
I get the feeling he almost, if it is him, doesn't care about how he ends up through it and just wants one final grand story to be told.
Do you think we should confront him?
I think we should ask him to take us to a party. At the very
Address
least,
is
it'll let
ready.
us spend some more time and try and get any more ideas about how he might be affecting the city or what he's trying to do.
Myzel, should you and I dress up as girls?
Do it, you cowards.
Unprovoked. Is every D&D game we have just an excuse for people to cross-dress now?
And
You're making me want to choose my
Lilia would
suit.
look hot. Okay, yep. Liliana Luna would slay that.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it wouldn't be the first time for me, but would it
I mean, you're
benefit?
halfway there.
Not even going to
You
bother
were almost
asking
fast
what
for a
you
second
mean.
there.
You know, part of being from where I am means I don't conform to many boundaries.
Hmm.
Much less the boxes that you put each other in terms of gender.
Not her being a girl is looking good at anything.
But would it benefit us at all in terms of trying to win Marco over or find out more information at the party?
I get the sense that he wants us to be grand regardless. If he is the one who's writing these entries. Even, and Luna just gonna put like the entries on the table. Even the existence of these, it reeks of a writer's touch.
That is
Building
a
up
correct
this-
assessment.
I'm assuming these journal entries match the handwriting of the previous ones that we found?
They do, yes. Seems continuous.
I feel like
Although these are
because
more
of the fact that
recent.
these ones were entry number 3, I feel like we missed number 1 somewhere, and it kind of irks me.
There's no right order to anything.
Yes,
True.
I didn't miss them, but they are, I didn't just go like, the first one they find is going to be number 1, and then the next one is going to be number 2. I just
They're just
placed
space
them
we
in
haven't
specific
explored yet.
places. Yes, so you get to the first one eventually.
When we get to it.
Hopefully. We can't just skip to the final boss. We have to explore every nook and cranny of this city.
Or
If
you
we
can, but you
do-
just won't have the full story.
Yeah, but if we do miss a piece, we have to go back to it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we gotta get
Otherwise-
100%.
Yeah,
It's the law.
100%. Yes.
Like, we accidentally cut a corner in the woods, and people died, and then we almost died, and we missed part of the story.
That was a
Actually-
different situation.
No,
Actually-
what happened in the woods is I chose not to act on my instincts that were screaming at me not to do the whole hag thing, and I didn't listen, and then a bunch of people died.
True.
Okay, but actually though, are there trash cans around? I'd like to check 3 times.
Are you
Just
playing
to see if
Starro?
there's
What's up with
something
you?
How you get the diamond? Isn't that the Stardew?
there.
That
No, it's some
too.
other game.
Most RPGs. What's
Yes,
up? Are you?
correct.
I can call upon the live stream tonight and ask a single question concerning a goal, event, or activity.
Me when I pee. Call upon the live stream.
I will pee on you.
No.
Don't do that, I'll come.
God damn. You're fucking awful, bro.
Oh,
know,
says you.
The biggest start of all of this is I can do this.
Pee on me, girl.
No,
Don't do that.
I can generate this easily. It's not even a question.
Oh, not that. No.
Yeah. You remember the giant squall's mom?
Yeah,
You remember the giant cock?
that was a good one.
It was very funny, but
Anyway,
what should I call upon the live stream for? You want more information on Julius?
what is the nature of the information you can ascertain from this ability?
It will be somewhat vague but accurate. If I were to ask the live stream, something along the lines is he involved with the vampires in Great Helm? It will give me a positive or negative answer.
I
Though we
think
already
we've
know on some
confirmed
level.
that he is. From Priscilla's account, she could not have lied.
That's true. So maybe not Father Julius, but what was the other place? The psych ward? Well, I
The
forgot what it was called.
sanatorium.
Sanitarium.
Sanatorium.
If that is the case, you could try to ascertain where he does his work for the vampires.
Where he does his work.
You
Yeah.
could also try and ask it if Marco Ingernin is involved at all, but whatever is
Considering-
protecting him might still be able to deflect it.
I think my first question was about Marco Winternen, and the live stream was kind of like, I can't help you. Or rather, it kind of. I can't remember exactly what happened. But I don't think it works on him
Mm-hmm.
the way it might work on
Okay.
Julius.
Can it show you what's going on in the sanatorium?
You're asking a bit much now.
Hmm.
I feel the flow of aether over the course of time. If it has changed something drastically, then I'll be able to feel it. But images and things of that nature would take. Even with the moon of Shandora and this potion, be a difficult task. I'm in favor at the moment of asking where he does his work. Julius, that is. What's our next most confirmed lead? Sanatorium, we don't really exactly have an in right now. Though, if we're lucky, the two might cross over. Perhaps the sanatorium is where he does his work.
Although, the Temple of Hestia and the sanatorium are followers of different deities. There might be some resistance to him doing anything out of there.
What was that about the deities?
Doesn't it was the follower of Vulcan that came from sanatorium, right?
Vulcan?
Wasn't it Vulcan? What? There was a different deity, the hammer one.
Thor.
Thor, right? Okay,
Different-
wrong
different-
wrong
yeah.
hammer deity.
Wrong
I went
hammer.
Roman instead of
Norse.
Norse.
Yeah, Thor was to recap. Thor was originally the deity worshipped in Greathelm before the quote-unquote Greek gods killed Grimvar and immediately earned, the favor of most people in the continent. One of the guys from Grayskull is like the priest of Thor, and it's just like a small shrine that he runs by himself.
Oh, so that's not related to the sanatorium.
No, not really.
Oh, okay. I thought he said something about the sanatorium, and that's why I got associated.
Not
with
that. Yeah, he might have said something about the sanatorium because it's close to his smithy that doubles as a
Okay.
shrine. It's
Mhm.
close by, but he doesn't. But the sanatorium.
That's
to
why you
your
got me
knowledge-
confused, because he also has a smithy, and that's Vulcan's thing.
Well, in my setting, it's Thor's thing as well, because
I know.
he's a god of the dwarves, and all of the gods of the dwarves are crafters.
That does bring up a fair point, though, also, from those notes. We should try and find some of the Jotun and see if they have any ideas on who's involved here. Did say
Yeah.
something about escaping the garden. So
That's true.
perhaps before Grimvar was overthrown, they made their base or some of it in the garden.
Where is the garden?
Jotun might be able to tell us more about the Crimson Core.
Where is the garden?
Activating. Oh no, that's not the Great Helm map. That's the Great Helm map. It's not the
We need the
map.
Grimvar map.
It's way too far for us to do that.
Yeah, the Moose
Yeah, it's
Spell
in-
Garden.
It's in Windcrest, yeah.
And Ringcrest is right about here.
Yeah, the garden. We're not going over the garden.
No, but we could find, if there are any Jotun in the city, we could ask them if there's anything in their lore about it. The Misspell
Yeah.
Garden is just one of their most powerful cities.
Yes. But at the moment, I'm trying to
Whoa.
decipher whether or not. DM question: Hestia.
Hmm?
Is Hestia line good, bad, neutral? I'm assuming it's good.
Yeah, she's like the goddess of the hearth. She is known for offering shelter to those who need it. So, overall, would be considered good from the point of view of most people.
Okay. So theoretically, do you think that she would give her divine protection to a priest working with vampires?
Doesn't seem like would be the case.
Okay. Just under those auspices, I wanna. I just remembered it says bitch home over there.
Yep.
It's been a while since we had this map open. I can ask a question a day. So, do we want to focus on Julius?
Sure, ask him where he collaborates with the vampires or something of that sense, and see if it brings anything interesting up.
All right. Then we'll actually get settled in a spot. Take her armor off, but kind of lean in her lap to focus in on her stomach and start channeling the mark, infused with Shindora's kiss. And I'll cast divination and ask. Can I get his full name real quick?
It's Julius Dominicus.
Where does the priest Julius
Don't
Dominic?
fucking laugh. His Roman
It's a
dude.
very-
That's how their
it's a
names
very-
are.
It's a very normal name.
That's what I was giggling about. It's like, oh boy, we're going full Roman emperor names. Let's go.
I was like, for a second there, I was at the Bernie. I was
Listen,
like,
did
this
you
from the
remember how
guy called
extra I went in one
Maizel
of,
von the Bluma?
Do you remember how
Sometimes
extra I
things-
went with the names in one of Malachi's stories? Like, I'm not judging.
That's true.
Like, you know,
Super.
tropes exist for a reason, and we're allowed to find enjoyment in them, even if the trope is actually just being correct naming convention.
Where does the priest Julius Dominicus work for and or convene with the vampires that are currently, what's the word I'm looking for? Not so much controlling, but it's almost like invading. Goddamn words. There's too many words in the English language. Occupying or running or roaming? Annexing? Not quite
Okay.
annexing.
Read your sentence once more for the audience.
From the top.
Where
Alright.
is Julius Dominicus?
Specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it could be phrased in such a way as like, well,
Is going
Where-
to
where
is
where
he
is he going to
working? Yeah, meeting, working, and or doing deeds in the names, or other doing deeds connected with the vampires attempting to take control of Great Helm.
you instantly feel yourself the familiar sensation of expanding your perception and feeling like the world around you more keenly. You are connected to the live stream briefly, and you feel like the flux of the souls of the city going to and from, and you are kind of pulled in a certain direction as if it's replying to your inquiries. They flow with you to a place where you presume to be the Church of Hestia. You can feel that the live stream there, it gives way to a mass of divine ether. Because, you know, the live stream is made of worldly ether, natural ether from the material plane. It is not affected by interferences from like the Feywild or the Shadowfell or the heavens or the hells. It's always just pure ether. And then, once there, you sort of feel yourself being tugged below, under the ground. Somewhere that seems to be almost directly beneath the Church of Hestia. And as you sink, you also feel this connection being swallowed by a dense darkness. Very, very dense. And that is sort of like where it cuts off for you, but you definitely felt where it was pulling you to.
Yeah, sort of snaps back, or sweating lately. Underneath, underneath the church was pulling me down, and then it got dark, like it was trying to swallow me up.
Are you okay?
Fine. It's always just strange moving through aether like that.
All the more reason to ensure that Sister Catherine is safe. And perhaps now that Priscilla is gone, it's safe for the ones she was tormenting to go back to their homes.
Here, I'd like to speak to. He had a very normal name.
Mark?
It's like Mark. Yes, thank you. I was gonna say Michael, but I was like, it's not Michael. It's shorter.
Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
The former coach of the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, really deep basketball cut, guys.
Thanks, bro.
That would
I
have
know
killed
him.
the different chat, I'm sure.
Yeah. That would have
Wasn't even
killed
trying. I don't
it.
think anyone would kill even in the chat that I was aiming for. Like, it would, they'd just be like, "Oh yeah."
You wouldn't last a day in the chat I was raised in.
Call of Duty chats.
That would have killed in a different chat is such a good phrase. I love that one.
Yeah.
Always hits.
Needs
Always
to be
hits.
happen.
But Lucina does sort of, so you have ascertained that there he is conducting his practices beneath the church.
Yes, there seems to be an area underneath. I don't know how to get through it.
We can try to find a way to investigate it at a later point. But most importantly, I must make certain that Catherine is not under any danger while she is performing her duties there.
Don't act rashly. I doubt he suspects Catherine, at the very least. What we do is a different story altogether. Don't give him a reason to suspect her.
Acknowledged. Will you be, in light of all that you are now suspecting, speaking to my father still?
You mean in a friendly manner or at all?
Well,
At all?
he was our primary connection to trying to get into the parties.
Let's say that these entries are your father. He likes a good story. Not exactly sure he would fess up to it before he gets to see it play all out. And I can't say with 100% certainty whether or not he doesn't seem to care that much about the lunar ascendancy. So I am curious why he seems So keen on controlling great health. Just for like a background thing, Selena, for the ascendancy, who did she need in particular?
What do you mean?
Weren't they trying? Elevander is a part of this as well. Weren't they trying to create something for the sake of the ascendancy?
Yes.
And in that sense, Lilia was a failed experiment, quote unquote.
Yes, and sort of. Well, whether she was a failed experiment is
Or an
questionable.
unintended
Failed for
byproduct.
that. Failed for that purpose, not failed for the purpose they were trying at the time.
Yeah, the thing is, they tried to do something to Lilia's mother, and they thought it failed, but it resulted in Lilia. And upon learning of Lilia's existence, Selena was like, maybe it didn't fail. Maybe it succeeded in a way it didn't expect. Am I a genius?
God damn.
Oh my god, Selena is Frodo.
No, she's not.
No,
She's
that's
not as whimsical. She wasn't like, am I a genius? She was always certain she's a genius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very clear distinction there.
Noah. He is kinda.
What do you mean, Noah?
And
In the same boat as like Lilia, just like a vessel that isn't. Well, I guess he's not really a vessel for the lunar ascendancy.
You don't really know anything about why Noah was created, the
Noah's,
circumstances.
yeah,
or
Noah's
something like that.
weird.
Yeah, that has not been explored yet. All that you know is that about the experiment with Lilia's mother and Lilia herself, and that she was also experimented on everyone else in the Wolfwood, and Nicaea was also considered as a potentially suitable host for what she was attempting.
So it's people fairly well connected to the lunar aether, or the moons rather, or both, I guess.
That was Selena's approach at any rate.
It's almost like it's in her name to be related to the moons.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to be annoying, but I really need to go to bed.
Yeah, I
fair.
was kind of like seeing if the conversation was going to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
'Cause- which is also why Lucina is kind of like, okay, are you guys going to talk to Marco, or
What do you guys think?
unless
So we
you
can
all-
rest.
we should take a brief rest here, but if y'all are up to it, we could try and go see about one of the parties tonight.
Night?
Now, the parties only happen at night, and
But are we
evening
trying to
is
do
yet
that
young.
tonight?
Are you sure you're
Evening.
good for like a
the parties
whole
don't
thing?
happen every night? Just to be clear, there is no guarantee
okay.
that one of them is going to happen. But you need to get an invitation first. That is
right.
mandatory.
I think when we go, it's not gonna be a friendly conversation that happens.
Nah, I'd win.
I think
Come up with suitable details without announcing our suspicion of him. I think Marco would be still interested in inviting us to one of the parties. If it is him, he wants this story to play out.
That's if we can find him.
Well, he frequents every bar and said he'd leave instructions. Let's rest for a bit and discuss what we should and should not share with him.
Yeah, can we look at the? Can we identify the items while we rest?
Yeah, I'm gonna reveal the Priscilla's eyes, and then we're going to wrap the session.
And we can do a short rest.
Is Priscilla's battle jacket black?
It is.
Hell yeah. Matches my outfit.
He's not beating the Batman allegations. On
Not
any
at all.
account.
Definitely not.
Listen, it's 1 AC better than my mage armor.
It's a thing.
But yes, other than the item, we are wrapping up the session for the purposes of Nico going to sleep.
Yeah. And I gotta
I
finish
did go
packing.
too.
Yeah. But thanks for session, y'all.
Thank you, gang.
Things are developing.
Yeah.
Shit's
Yasin.
happening. Have a wonderful time, y'all. GG.
Good
GG.
night.
And I
Was
will
that the
be here.
one extra thing that you wanted to add in the session, or was there something else?
Hmm?
You mentioned obviously the items, but you mentioned something else. Was that the intimidating thing you
Yeah, that was
decided
the
to do in that
intimidation.
moment? Okay.
Proficiency.
Yeah, the extra reward is proficiency and intimidation. It's kind of like a
Okay.
non-tangible reward. I just
Okay,
kinda
you
left
decided to
you
do it
guys-
in that exact moment then.
No, I didn't. No, it was already planned. I just.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying you mentioned doing it at the end, but then I think you just did it right then and there. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
did it. Yeah, no. The Mystic Eyes was the thing that was going to reveal at the end of the session.
Ah, okay, yeah.
The intimidation thing, I just thought it was an appropriate time to bring it up because you were killing her.
Fear or fight. Oh, fright or flight.
Fright or flight, yeah.